You can't believe how badly NBA legends have failed. Even the greatest had nights they wish you would forget. But it's what happened next that made them immortal. 1. Wilt Chamberlain. 2. Karl Malone. 3. Stephen Curry. 4. LeBron James. 5. Kevin Durant. 6. Jason Tatum. 7. Ja Morant. 8. Kevin Love. You know, when we talk about Wilt Chamberlain, we think of unstoppable dominance. The guy who once dropped 100 points in a single game. But even Wilt had moments that almost didn't feel real. Take Game 2 of the 1969 NBA Finals. The Lakers were facing the Celtics, and Wilt was supposed to be the unstoppable force. Instead, he finished the night with just 4 points, hitting only 1 out of 6 shots. Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain only 4 points. Boston's defense that night, led by Bill Russell in his final season, completely shut him down. They made him uncomfortable, cut off his easy looks, and forced him into taking shots he didn't want. Even though Wilt still grabbed a bunch of rebounds, 19 actually, it wasn't enough. The Lakers lost that game, and eventually they lost the series in 7. And what made it even worse? They had home court advantage and a stacked roster with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. For Wilt, who was always chasing respect through championships, that 1969 finals became one of the rare low points in a career that was otherwise bigger than life. Karl Malone's most unexpected playoff performances. In the 1999 Western Conference semifinals, the Utah Jazz were up against the Portland Trail Blazers. This was a shortened season due to a lockout, but Malone still secured his second MVP award, leading the Jazz to a 37-13 record. To a land of basketball, fast forward to Game 6 of the series, with the Jazz trailing 3-2. Malone, known as the mailman for consistently delivering on the court, had an uncharacteristically rough night. He managed only 8 points, shooting 3 of 16 from the field. Despite playing over 45 minutes, he couldn't find his rhythm. The Trail Blazers' defense was relentless, and Malone's usual mid-range shots just weren't falling. The Jazz ended up losing the game 92-80, and with that, the series 4-2. Using Moss was particularly tough because despite Malone's regular season dominance, the Jazz couldn't advance past the second round. It highlighted the challenges even elite players face in the pursuit of a championship. For Malone, it was a stark reminder that postseason success isn't guaranteed, no matter how stellar the regular season might be. You know, when we talk about Stephen Curry now, it's all about his incredible shooting and those MVP seasons. But early in his career, things weren't so smooth. He had a lot of trouble with his ankles. In fact, during the 2011 to 2012 season, he played only 26 games because of recurring ankle injuries. He even had to undergo surgery in April 2012 to clean out scar tissue and remove loose bodies from his right ankle. People started doubting if he could have a long NBA career, but Curry didn't give up. He worked hard on his rehabilitation, focusing on strengthening his ankles and improving his overall fitness. The Warriors showed faith in him by signing him to a 4-year, $44 million contract extension in 2012. That faith paid off. Curry went on to win back-to-back MVP awards in 2015 and 2016, with the 2015 to 2016 season being particularly special. He became the first unanimous MVP in NBA history and led the Warriors to a record-breaking 73-9 regular season record. It's amazing to think that someone who faced so many challenges early on could turn things around so dramatically. Curry's story is a testament to perseverance and hard work. Let me tell you about one of the most surprising moments in LeBron James's career. In the 2011 NBA Finals, LeBron, who had just joined the Miami Heat to form a super team with Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh, faced off against the Dallas Mavericks. Expectations were sky high, but LeBron's performance fell short. He averaged just 17.8 points per game over the 6-game series, a significant drop from his regular season average of 26.7 points. What's more, he scored a total of only 18 points in the fourth quarters throughout the entire series. Critics were quick to point out his passive play and lack of aggression during crucial moments. LeBron himself later admitted that this was the lowest point of his career, saying, "I played like shit, but he didn't let this define him." He used the loss as motivation, worked on his game during the off-season, and came back stronger, leading the Heat to back-to-back championships in 2012 and 2013. Now let's talk about Kevin Durant's 2011 playoff run. In the Western Conference semifinals against the Memphis Grizzlies, Durant had a rough outing in Game 6, scoring only 11 points on 3 of 14 shooting. The Thunder lost that game, forcing a decisive Game 7. But Durant bounced back in a big way, scoring 39 points and leading Oklahoma City to victory, advancing to the Western Conference Finals. It was a testament to his resilience and ability to perform under pressure. Let's tell you about a couple of tough playoff games from 2025. First up, Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. In Game 3 against the Orlando Magic, the Celtics were up by 10 at halftime, and Tatum was on fire, scoring 21 points in the first half. But things took a turn in the second half. The Celtics' offense became stagnant, and over a 17.5-minute stretch, they were outscored 37-18. Tatum finished with 36 points, but also had 7 turnovers. The Celtics ended up losing the game 95-93, allowing the Magic to cut the series lead to 2-1. Now let's talk about Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. In Game 1 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Grizzlies suffered a 131-80 loss, marking the worst playoff defeat in franchise history. Morant scored 17 points on 6 of 17 shooting. After the game, he vowed that such a performance would never happen again. You know, everybody talks about LeBron's block and Kyrie's shot in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, but Kevin Love had one of the most underrated clutch moments that night. Earlier in that final series, Love had struggled a lot. He even suffered a concussion in Game 2 and had to miss Game 3 completely. A lot of people question whether he was tough enough for the biggest stage, but in that Game 7 against the Warriors, when it mattered the most, Kevin Love showed up. He finished with 9 points and 14 rebounds, but his biggest play wasn't even on offense. It was when Stephen Curry got the ball near the top of the key with under a minute left, and Love, who's not known as a great defender, somehow stayed with Curry on the switch. He kept his hands up, slid his feet, and forced Curry into a tough miss. That stop kept the Cavaliers ahead, and they went on to win the first championship in franchise history. It wasn't flashy, but without Kevin Love's defense in that moment, the story of Cleveland's greatest sports moment might have been very different. If you like my video, then subscribe to my channel to find more interesting stories about NBA players.